This is your Monex Metals Market Update with Mike Maroney.
Good afternoon. It's March 24th, Friday, and my name is Mike Maroney, and I am coming to you today from the Monex Precious Metals Studio. Let's do the weekly preview for next week. What we're looking at right now is we had a very interesting week this week because after the Fed raised rates and silver traded as low as $16.80 and gold traded as low as $11.94, we saw a very interesting anomaly take place as far as the market was concerned. Many people thought once the Fed started to raise rates that the dollar would move higher and that precious metals potentially would move lower. Lo and behold, that did not happen, as gold has rallied from $11.94 to an intraday high of $12.53, and silver rallied from a low of $16.80 to an intraday high of $17.75. Now, if you're wondering why, it's basically because many people were more concerned with what was going to happen as far as the healthcare vote. And the reason that is because the stock market is somewhat pricing in perfection as far as the Trump tax review and tax cuts are concerned and the potential infrastructure build out. So what we saw this week was the precious metals moved higher because investors were fearful that if Trump was not able to get the support for eliminating Obamacare and putting a new health care bill on the table, then what that would mean is that the potential for tax cuts and infrastructure would suddenly look as if they were in danger. And obviously this week was interesting as we waited for the vote to take place. But ironically, Friday afternoon, Paul Ryan came out and basically stated that, one, they weren't ready to take a vote. And most people believe that's because they didn't have all the voters in place. But precious metals didn't skyrocket on that news. It kind of leveled off, and now people are wondering, will they look at potentially putting tax reform first and infrastructure second before they try to tackle the health care bill? Now, with silver trading at $17.70, we still need to get back above the 200-day moving average, which is right up around $18.20, and things will start to heat up in a big way if we get through that number. A matter of fact, if you look at the daily charts, we have an inverse head and shoulder breakout above 1840. And if you look at the weekly charts, we have an inverse head and shoulder breakout above 21. So if silver could muster enough strength to get through the 200-day at 1820 and inevitably break through 1840, we could see the highs from last year retested. Now in the gold market, we have resistance, intermediate resistance is sitting right around the 1254 area. But the 200-day in gold is sitting up at 1268. And we have that same pattern developing in gold, but the breakout price would be above 54. And if we break above that 54, most people believe that we'll go up and test the 200. And if we can get through that 200-day moving average, the next major resistance sits up at 1307. The bottom line is we had a really good week in precious metals, and I think what came to light as people were examining the healthcare bill was the fact that we spent $1.4 trillion last year on Medicare and Medicaid. That's literally 50% of all the money that we're taking in as far as the U.S. government is concerned. And obviously, if we don't figure out a way to fix this healthcare problem, we are going to create major problems in the not so distant future as far as our budget is concerned. And that has caused anxiety in many individual investors. And when anxiety hits, people look for a safe haven, and that safe haven is precious metals. So next week, we'll have to see what happens. We'll be watching those key resistance levels, but all in all, it looks like precious metals are putting in a solid base and could be getting ready to race. So give us a call here at Monex so we can share with you some top-line strategies how you can use precious metals to protect your portfolio. Thank you.